Hello, this is Robert Holland, co-author of the Handbook of Hip and Knee Joint Replacement through the eyes of the patient, surgeon, and medical team. Today we're going to talk about the importance of cold therapy, how to make homemade ice packs versus manufactured cold therapy devices. Cold therapy is an essential component of recovery after total joint replacement. The fact is that the operative site, whether it's knee or hip, generates a great deal of heat due to post-surgical inflammation. Icing the operative site is known as cold therapy, which begins immediately after surgery. In my case, it helps me reduce pain and swelling from my total knee replacement. It also helps me rest and relax because it cools the operative site. It feels great and it's such a relief. Just a cautionary warning, whether using a homemade ice pack or a manufactured cold therapy device, I always have a layer of thick cloth like a bath towel between my skin and whatever I'm using, because any type of ice pack or cold therapy unit can damage your skin if it gets too cold due to direct contact. This is very important. Also, remember to follow the directions of your physician as well as those of the manufacturer when employing cold therapy for whatever reason. Also keep in mind that generally speaking, any type of cold therapy should typically be used for only a short duration in place, usually around 1/2 hour or less, followed by an equal duration off. For the homemade ice pack, we're going to use a large dish towel. The one I'm holding up right here is about 3.5 feet long. And we use a double freezer bag full of ice. Take one and put the ice in it and put that inside another bag in case it leaks. And we also use lots of safety pins. I take the double ice bag and I measure how big it needs to be. And that tells me where to start my next row of pins. I set it over again and I mark it. And that tells me where my next row of pins will be. Now I put my ice bag aside and I fill in my row of safety pins. Continuing on, I go to my next pouch I'm creating. Note that I have a row of safety pins in the end of the towel as well. I've actually got 3 pouches on this dish towel. Now I put my ice into the first pouch, and if I have my other 2 bags created, I go ahead and fill my next pouches up. Once I've got this nicely in place, I remember to take one last pin and make a top to the pouch. And there you have it. By using a dish towel this way, I can make a large homemade ice pack as long as my leg. In this next slide, you can see that I've used the ice packs just like we put them together, covering my entire leg after my latest knee joint replacement. And you can see how nice that is. And you can see it's wrapped with a great big terry cloth towel. Now let's talk about manufactured cold therapy devices. This is just my opinion, but I've been through 3 of these TKRs in the last 3 years. I don't think I could have made it without having a really good cold therapy device. I found a new one on the internet for about $200, and that was what I opted to buy, but my first one was a used one, as shown in the current slide. A used cold therapy device can be cheaper. These must be cleaned thoroughly with soap and water inside and out, and you must also disinfect all surfaces inside and out, according to the Center for Disease Control guidelines of 1 part household bleach and 10 parts water. This amounts to 1/4 cup of bleach to 2 1/4 cups of water. Next, I'm going to show you one that I bought for this latest knee joint replacement because I wore the other one out. These have hook and loop tabs, and they're made out of elastic so they stretch all the way around your entire leg. This particular unit is basically a little cooler, and you put ice in it and water. And the gray surface is toward your leg, and you always have to have a towel between your leg and that. The back has the blue flocking, which sticks to the hook and loop. This has a 110 volt power unit, which you plug into the wall. And here's a picture of this in use. Note that I have a big terry cloth towel between the unit and my leg. In my humble opinion, cold therapy devices are better than the homemade cold packs. The hook and loop straps attach the cooling pad to your joint and keep it right where it belongs, allowing you a better freedom of movement. They're much easier to fill and maintain than double freezer bags, and they don't leak all over your bed or couch. Well, that's about it for today. This is Robert Holland, wishing you well.